Welcome back to the Ur-Quan Masters High Definition MEGAMOD Let's Get On With It Revisit Adventure. Last episode featured a slice of combat and a whole lot of lore from Starbase Commander Hayes, and an end cap covering the Starbase's facilities, the shipyard, and modifying our workhorse tugboat precursor vessel. I've made some modifications. You can acquire fuel here. There are full refunds on everything that you get. The game is generous in that way. The game is not always generous. We have a fuel tank. You can store up to 50 units of fuel. Combine that with the base value of 10 fuel units. Our maximum fuel total is 60. We have a crew pod. You can store up to 50 crew. Crew are hit points in this game. You run out of crew, you're done. I've added an extra storage bay. I cannot recall whether my work here in Seoul will fill up one of these completely, so I've decided to bring a second one. I've chucked the weapons for now, and instead of 2 antimatter thrusters and 2 turning jets, I've added more. You'll notice the difference. I've kept us to 1 planet lander for now. I should not need more than 1 for my work in this solar system. Shipyard-wise, I have scrapped the Earthling Cruiser. We can get it back for 1100 RU. It's the same price to build and to scrap things. Again, full refund, 100% return. That means that any ships that you take in that you get as freebies over the course of the game, you can just recycle and get full value out of it. So long as you have the space, you have limited fleet size, and you are not permitted to exceed it. Okay, well, we got some work to do in exploring and looting this solar system. Before I do that, though, I want to show you all just how fast this ship can move, just how well this ship can turn, as I boogie away from the starbase and head on over to the second planet in the solar system, Aphrodite, Venus herself, because it's time for us to talk about planets. Ah, there she is. A scan of Venus. Not that much gravity here, so it won't cost that much fuel to land on it. Temperatures exceeding 100 degrees Celsius starts risking you running into firestorms on the planet. The hotter the planet, the greater the severity and likelihood of you getting smashed by fire. Your lander taking damage will result in the loss of crew lives. If your lander runs out of crew, you will lose the lander. Landers cost 500 resource units. Crew, for now, is 3 resource units. The temperature over there is a little touch warmer than 100 degrees Celsius. Weather. Above Class 2, you will start running into lightning storms. The higher the class, the greater the severity and frequency of those lightning storms. Venus has Class A. Tectonics. Above Class 2, you will start running into earthquakes. We're good on that front. Earthquakes can be practice dodging those. Firestorms, in my experience, my frayed experience of the game, less so. Now, you might be able to garner based on the angry numbers over there, which I think is brought by the MEGAMOD, but I can't swear for sure, that Venus presents some danger to us. And it could be worth that danger if there was something worth a damn on the goddess of love and fertility and spiteful jealousy, and although that might be more Hera. Venus doesn't have much of anything on it, though. It has base and common metals. The base orbs are the gray ones. Those are worth 1 resource unit of memory serves. And these bluish ones here are worth 3 resource units. That's just not worth the risk of losing the planet lander that cost 500 resource units. But maybe for demonstration purposes, we just talk about how bad could it be, right? How bad could Venus truly be? That's how bad. Alright. And no, we can't dispatch anymore. The crew is dead. The lander is dead. We would have to recycle some other module to get a new lander back. So that we could, perhaps, be less stupid with it. Lesson learned. The demonstration has concluded. Let's go somewhere else. Ah, Earth. Look at it. Throbbing, pulsating, its sickly red glow, so majestic. But we can't scan anything on it. We can't land on it. We can't communicate with anyone through the slave shield. They are lost to us. Back to Mercury. We have prior experience here. Temperatures, not so bad as those on Venus. But Grimith, Mercury is closer to the sun than Venus is. Venus has a lot of problems, okay? You should have paid attention. Tectonics? Yeah, we got some earthquakes, but no weather. No weather. And we've got valuable goodies that are well worth the risk here. Let's see if we can pilfer any of those, yeah? Over here. Note how quickly these firestorm pieces appear. Like, it's just... how can you predict dodging those? Compared to the earthquakes? Ugh. Ugh. We're gonna land one more time. These base metals? Nah, those aren't worth my time. That'll be it. The rest of that stuff? Some other intrepid explorers, they can have that. It's for them. We gotta leave some lootables behind for future brave captains. Future captains who have been strong-armed by their crew to... it's a long story. We've gotten our asses to Mars. What a lovely, lovely safe world. Oh, so friendly and cozy and comfy. There's not much of value down there for us, but it's perfectly safe. We can have it. Anything we want. That's for us. It's not even that pricey on fuel to come claim it. Grab ourselves some potassium, aluminums, bismuth. Let's grab that node there. And we'll leave one circle. We'll take just a little slice of this circle here. 2. That's all we could fit. And that's it. We can't fit anything more in the lander. And note that that circle that we picked up, we could only partially fit that into our lander storage, and the rest of that has gone to heaven. A similar circumstance will happen if your storage pods, if like your ship storage is almost entirely full, the rest of that can, like, any overflow will go to heaven too. You'll have to throw it into the harbor like you're playing Sid Meier's Colonization. Nice, simple, safe. Many planets are not safe. From Mars, we head now for Saturn. Saturn and one rendered moon. That should be Titan over there. Saturn is a gas giant. We cannot dispatch our planet lander to land upon the gas giant. There's nothing there. Titan is a different story, though I do not believe Titan has much forming. Yes, it is Titan, and the weather is a little dangerous. What do we have here for valuables? Nothing but junk. I'd be risking the lives of crew landing, getting fried by a lightning storm in exchange for junk. Rith wrinkles his nose. Wrong lightning blast hits, I could lose 5, 8, 10 crew. We'll grab some of it. Just to say we visited. The gravity's so low. Time to go. That wasn't so bad. We'll leave the rest of it again. Other captains may need those resources in their own travels. Which direction are Jupiter? Oh, okay. Well, I spotted one over there. Good. How you doing? Greetings and salutations to you. This is Neptune. Neptune. Also, a gas giant. Nothing on Neptune for us. The planet lander cannot go. What do we have over here? Prizes? Money? Loot? We have Triton. Safe planet for us. No dangers, no risks. We have some minor valuables. If you wish to see the color of the circle orbs, you can have it right here. Common, corrosive base metal. Ooh. I've gotten the color circles wrong. Well, good thing I caught that. Who knows how many comments I'm going to be getting about that. I have the time to correct that. We'll let it be. Great. Wonderful. You know what? Good. Good. I'm glad we had this reinforcing piece there. Anyway, I guess we'll go collect us some of this junk. Some arsenic. Take a little cruise around Triton. There we go. As we can see here in our cargo manifest, yes, we now have some common. Common is blue, corrosive is red, base metal is gray, noble gas has a different blue. We have the rare earth, the precious, the radioactive, and the exotic. Alright, Grimith. Gray is base metal, that's a 3, not a 1. Put that in your skull, you can do it. Head pat yourself. Come here, Jupiter. Jupiter with 4 satellites we can visit. Jupiter, of course. A gas giant. Nothing here for us. We cannot visit. Let's head for this satellite. This one is Europa. Europa perfectly safe for us. We have some business on Europa, I do believe. Let's go scoop us up some valuables, yeah. Boop. Nice, pleasant cruise. Lovely stroll. So long as we don't accidentally fire our gun chute. I'll just fill up the rest of my cargo with this. We will not make another landing on Europa. Waste the rest of that, it goes to charity. Our cargo manifest, we now have some corrosives. It's not worth going down there to scoop up more. Precious, radioactives, lots of base metals, a little bit of common. If I needed more cargo space, I could just junk some of this rubbish stuff. I'm not too far from filling up one of my storage bays. This is Ganymede. Ganymede also completely safe. Ganymede very low on gravity. However, Ganymede has commons. That's what it has. Just common. The weakest stuff. We're here. Let's say we visited. And I've got the storage space for now. There we go. Ganymede done and dusted. Next up. You. Io. Io's a little dangerous. But Io's got plenty of valuables for us. Just laying out there. Rich for the taking. Rich and ripe. And earthquakes I may be able to dodge. Probably wasted some of it there. Oh well. When I say probably, I mean I did waste some of it there. Oh well. This one other orb. Okay. And then a final trip to grab the rest of it. Yeah. I think we can schedule a final trip. I think that one's on the budget. Some of you may die today, but that is a price I'm willing to pay. Off we go. Delightful. Thanks, Io. And finally, I thought I would ricochet off the north. We have Callisto. Callisto, which has fuck and all. Thanks, Callisto. Got a couple more to visit. Let's shoot beyond the inner solar system and hopefully catch... Oh, that was beautiful. Nailed Uranus. It has nothing for us. It is another gas giant. So we're out of here. Pluto, are you gonna be up to the north here? You are. Ur-Quan Master says that Pluto is a planet. Who am I to disagree? There's Pluto. Now, Pluto has an energy signature, and that's certainly worth visiting. Pluto's going to be perfectly safe for us to land upon, and that one orbit has. If you take a look at the manifest, those are exotics. Those are worth 25 resource units a pop. If Venus was full of those, that would be well worth the price of admission, and I am glad I brought along that second storage bay. If only just. Let's go grab these. Otherwise, these wouldn't all fit. I'd have to dump some of the junk. 5. So 2 would overflow. That'd be tragic. And then, whatever the hell this energy signature is. Mayday from surface. We have come under fire from an alien vessel we found hiding on the surface of Pluto. Captain, they killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all 3 of the Lieberman triplets. We have return fire, but our stunner can't penetrate the ship's hull armor. We are initiating emergency launch procedures into transmission. Yep. We lost crew.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Spotty Captain Fwiffo. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spottywa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spotty Cipher, which is known only by me and several billion other Spotty, is Huffy, Muffy, Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt.
Fwiffo is not the only person from whom you can learn the secret Spathy cipher. But Fwiffo brings other elements, charms to the table. Attention, alien vessel. Identify yourself to be destroyed. Hi there, friend. We come in peace and mean you no harm. Don't kill us. You attacked our lander, killed our crew, prepare to die. Attention, alien vessel. Identify yourself or be destroyed. It's important to come across with a position of strength here, despite the fact that I have no escorts and no weapons. And lost 8 crew.
Of course. As I said, I am Captain Fwiffo of the Spotty Lordship Star Runner. Our sensors have tracked your entry into the system, which you are no doubt here to conquer. And while you are certainly welcome to do so, we would be greatly appreciative if you would please just go away and forget this star system ever existed. If you don't go, it will greatly complicate our master-slave relationship with the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here to watch over the Earthlings.
We suggest you immediately perform whatever cultural practices are customary to your species preceding death. Or die, Slug Boy, or we understand that sometimes these tragic misunderstandings happen. We grieve for the 8 who fell, but are not bitter. You know, we'll try not to be. It's like when I'm lying when I say, I'm not bitter. But it's evident by the tone in my voice, I am completely bitter. I'm not bitter. No. The captain looks up at the crew that Fwiffo can't see. They look bitter.
Phew, thanks. For a minute there, I thought you were going to kill me.
What are you doing here on Pluto?
About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-Quan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-Quan armada, right up to the point at which the Ur-Quan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them.
So what are you doing here on Pluto?
When the Ur-Quan armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-Quan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy as combat roles and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to pre-atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-Quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Inlet and Spartan fleets to create the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon.
Fwiffo, tell me what you are doing on Pluto now.
Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us Spatty a bit uneasy because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. But the Illwraith kept telling us that it was impossible since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made us feel a bit better, but when the Illwraith left, again we grew fearful and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto.
What happened to the Illwraith Avengers, the Ur-Quan station here?
The Illwraith contingent were supposed to be the toughest ridge crest, the most rigid flipper, yes, the backbone of the Earth Guard force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Ur-Quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Illwraith's passivity and wanted them to kill or at least torture someone soon. Personally, I believe they just got bored and went up to have some fun.
So, the Illwraith are combat thralls, but in service to Dogar and Kazon, when the Ur-Quan pieced out, so did they. Not even caring for any consequences. Well, we saw one Avenger earlier. Do you have any expectations of them returning?
Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago,
Oh.
we asked them that very question, and I think they said something to the effect of, "Real soon."
Oh, I forgot. I forgot Fwiffo did the voice. Give it to me again.
Real soon.
One more time.
Real soon.
Yeah. Alright. So, we visited Luna. What the fuck, Fwiffo?
We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnorme fun rum called Winky's Happy Night, hoping they would think we were still there.
What happened to the other Spathy eluders?
Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-Guard forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Spatty call the Ultimate Evil!
I knew I'd be running that one back.
The Ultimate Evil!
Real soon. Who or what is this ultimate evil, Fwiffo?
As yet, the Ultimate Evil remains largely unmanifest, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence as to the Ultimate Evil's nefarious intent.
Okay. How many crew do you have aboard, Fwiffo?
Dozens, that is to say scores and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass-destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we choose to do so, which, fortunately for you, we have decided not to do today.
Hundreds? Come on.
I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor Spatty like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' Eluder-class void ships typically holds 30 Spatty crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Star Runner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the Ultimate Evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only spotter on board, which is a bit frightening, as I am sure you can understand.
They left Fwiffo alone. All of the other Spathy have gone. It's just Fwiffo, as the only individual to overlook the fallow slave planet of Earth. Where are the Ur-Quan now?
Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Yahat, I think, the Ur-Quan gathered their dreadnoughts and departed for the edge of the galaxy, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned.
Do you know anything about other alien races?
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat thralls, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bug-Squirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, the Shafixti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory.
What do you mean, blaze of glory? Glory device? What happened to him?
The Shafixti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yahat just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-Quan primary task force at their homeworld, the Shafixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system, and not incidentally dozens of Ur-Quan dreadnoughts.
What about yourself, Fwiffo?
Me? You mean me, personally? How nice of you to ask! I was born a poor green incrusting, the youngest child of a family of 18,487. My male parents had to work hard to support us, very hard. But each of my brothers and sisters and I tried to help out to make ends meet. The female parent was kind and sweet to all of us. Why, she once even called me by name. She said, "Fwiffo, Fwiffo, darling, would you please answer the door? I'll put someone's there." What a treat, a golden memory. I swiftly matured into a fine example of my species with my parents' assistance, achieved independence. Specifically, they pried me from the door jamb and rolled me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days. Yes, great dreams. I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land, through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush, so I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a spotty of the world, I would know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well, so I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of perfect stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted, aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening down the street outside my house. I knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Star Runner, headed for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident, and with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I have been unpleasantly employed for the last 25 years.
Fwiffo. The galaxy teems with threatening monsters. Are you happy here? Alone and vulnerable.
How true, Captain, how true! In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. This witty dialogue, and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threatened me with death.
Why are you still here, Fwiffo?
Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Poon Taffy, to pick the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Fwiffo, was left here alone. For, as even the most immature in wrestling knows, there must always be one spotter who picks the short top stick.
I'm sure you'd feel a lot safer if you were with us, and frankly, I would feel a lot safer, because the Spathio-Looter kicks so much ass. Come on, Fwiffo. Join, fight alongside my death-dealing ginormous starship of doom and glory.
Happy days and jubilation! I discard all prejudice and hesitation and accept and celebrate your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment, though, and make sure you understand that any other spaceships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-Quan enslavement and are also apt to talk themselves out of allying with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. Welcome me aboard, Captain.
For the price of 8 crew, we will do just that. Now, this has been quite a video, but I would prefer to end at the starbase, so give me just a sec.
Hello, Captain.
Commander, I have minerals to offload.
Not a bad job, Captain.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Captain.
It's a lot more resource units to work with here, for the price of 8 crew. Now, of course, I will want to be stocking up the Spathio-Looter as well. We could get so many resource units, but it's not enough. It's not enough. You restock that sucker. And you bring my stocks back, too. I will certainly need more fuel. I'll need a full haul of 60. Gives me 1,615 resource units to play around with here. Might bring the weapon back, might not. Another lander, another storage bay, another crew pod, another fuel tank. That'll be for future Grimith to decide. This lengthy video, with some editing and trimming, comes to an end now. Take care, everyone. See you next time when we take out the Starluck into hyperspace.